gonna make sure the mic working today. Grand Rising, all Grand Rising family. Man, as Big Bro Finn said it, make sure you hit that like button on your way in. We got a lot to discuss, man. We got a lot to discuss. Y'all know I always keep it real with y'all. I actually, it's funny. Over the weekend, I was feeling good. It was feeling like, just uplifted, empowered, on a high frequency. I really was. And there's something about this, when I woke up today, I don't even know what it is. It's not bad energy, it's not bad vibes, but it was just one of those. Like I actually, like initially when I first woke up, because I always get a text from my big bro, Jim Dory, Monday, first thing. And he'll always give me some inspirational words. And I was feeling good, all right, everything on schedule. But then, I was looking for a couple more videos for the show today. Maybe that's what did it. Maybe that's what did it. I started scrolling, looking for a couple videos. Maybe from now on, I need to have every single video already picked out in the evening because when I woke up and that's the first thing that you start looking at, even last night I did a meditation. It was dope. I went into the steam room, did a meditation. Shout out to my big bro, Jim Dory. He got me the steam room too. But went into the steam room, did a meditation, had some African spiritual music playing in the background, and got out. It was it was late, probably around like 12:31, maybe maybe a little earlier, whatever. And I put on my Napoleon Hill sleep meditation while I was in the shower, getting ready to go to bed. Went to bed, listened to that most of the night. It actually plays through the night a lot of times. And I don't know. Maybe it should feel heavy to a lot of us. Maybe it should feel heavy in a lot of ways, just based on everything that's going on right now. But I'm not gonna bring y'all spirits down. It looks like the sun is trying to creep out. I was a little bummed out too. Like I was walking downstairs, it felt dark, even though the weather's beautiful. It felt dark, gloomy. But maybe that was just the energy that now I'm looking in the back. I'm like, nah, it's sunny out. But it's just there's a lot of heavy things going on in the world today. There's a lot of heavy things going on in the world today. We're going to discuss a few of them. But first and foremost, as we always do, let's start off with some wise words from the fam. So shout out to Big Bro Finn. If you want to live in good times, do good things. That's where hope lives. That's where meaning comes from. That's the one thing that no one can take from you. That is 100% a fact. Nobody can take away how we approach the world, the things that we're putting out as far as an energy standpoint to the world. So if we want to live in good times, it's simple. Do good things. So I like that, big bro. I was once a fortunate man, but at some point fortune abandoned me. But true good fortune is what you make for yourself. Good fortune, good character, good intentions, and good actions. The Honorable Marcus Aurelius. And matter of fact, I meant to tell y'all. So last week, I was reviewing some stuff on I don't even know how I came across this. Maybe I was getting ready to post a clip from the show. And I came back to the show, I think on Friday. And I was like, hold up, bro. I really said that when you put the Roman numeral 7, I said, I think 3. And I'm over here trying to do the math, trying to be smart. It's like, bro, 3 is just 3 lines. All right, that's a total side note. But if you know, Finn knows what I'm talking about, and my dad knows what I'm talking about. And a lot of y'all, matter of fact, all y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Looking at me like, is he all right? I know it's Friday, but damn. But yeah, shout out to the Honorable Marcus Aurelius, and shout out to Finn. Shout out to Bubbles in the building. Y'all know we start off every day with bubbles and good energy. So now, my energy's starting to hit that peak. We starting to, hopefully not a peak, but hopefully just, getting that up ramp. Bubbles said she spent 2 days with your grandson. That's dope, man. 2 days with the grandson. Glorious Christ is King. That's dope. I'm sure you enjoyed that time with your grandson. That's what I'm sure you would say it's all about, right? Finn, remind us, don't forget to hit that like button on your way in. Michelle said, how was the first one? Kentucky in the building. Shout out to Michelle, tapping in as she always does. Appreciate you, Michelle. All right. Finn said, your dreams are more important than your discomfort. Your mission is greater than your moment of pain. Your faith is stronger than your fear. And you've got to believe this truth. I'm going to say that one more time. Your dreams are more important than your discomfort. Whoa. Big bro, Finn and I always on the same page. This is exactly what Napoleon Hill was talking about. So we put up a Sunday Word yesterday where I was reviewing a video that Napoleon Hill put up. It was a lecture, part of his lecture series, where he was talking about how God blesses you, but after he breaks you first, then he blesses you. And he was discussing in detail how our dreams and what we want to achieve, our goals, have to be more important to us than the discomfort that we're going to have to go through along the way in order to come out the other side and get those goals and to get that to accomplish those dreams. So definitely appreciate that. Definitely. Finn and I, we always on the same page. So your dreams are more important than your discomfort. Your dreams are more important than your discomfort. Your mission is greater than your moment of pain. Your faith is stronger than your fear. And you got to believe this truth. Uluwehi in the building. Shout out to Uluwehi. 5 of 7, boom. Uluwehi in the building. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Yes, hopefully everybody had a great weekend. We're going to continue. Y'all know what we set out every Sunday, Monday to do. Make this our greatest week ever. So why not accomplish that? Why not accomplish that? So we have a good video to start off with. Of course, I told y'all when I do the steam room late at night, this is what happens. If I don't get everything out, sometimes in the morning, it's like just creeping. It's not even like it's going to come out. It's just creeping there. But we have a good video to start off. And we're going to start off asking that question. And matter of fact, I should have asked Bubbles. Bubbles, did you see that? I don't know if it's in Israel or if it's Ted Cruz was talking about it. I saw you write Christ is King. That may be considered an offensive statement. Now, I don't even know if you saw that. I don't have it in one of these videos, but I just remembered as you put Christ as King. Yeah, apparently, according to Ted Cruz, that's been used as an anti-Semitic slur against Jewish people. I believe that's what he said. I'm just reporting the news. But yeah, interesting times. But we have a video from Finn that we're going to start off with as we ask ourselves this question, this very important question about human nature. Is human nature good or evil? And I want y'all to check out this video before we get into all of the evil that we will discuss that we're seeing throughout this world. Can't avoid it. Let me get to it. Let's see. Let's make this a little bigger. Get you guys. All right, I'm going to be on this side. Let's take a look.
This is a crazy experiment. They showed babies a puppet show. A red puppet struggles to get uphill and the yellow one helps it. The gray one, on the other hand, pushes it down. Now the baby is to pick between the puppets. 80% of 6 to 10-year-olds pick the yellow helper puppet and not the bad gray puppet. In other tests, the good puppet plays fair. The bad puppet steals. Once again, the babies chose the kind puppet. Even at 6 months old, babies prefer kindness to cruelty. By 8 months, they reward the good and punish the bad. Morality and instincts are not just taught, you are born with them. They are human traits that you have. Do not ignore them. This is a...
I think it's okay if we watch that video again, right? Does this make the point that we were having a conversation on last week as far as human nature? Is human nature good or is human nature evil? We talked about it last time as far as like, I don't think babies in the sandbox are, have evil intentions. I think that the world just shapes them. Society just shapes them. What did JFK say? These are man-made problems that exist when it comes to peace. And he was saying how it's a defeatist attitude to not believe that peace is attainable and to think that human nature is just evil, right? If it's man-made problems, then the good thing about that is we can solve it with man. So let's take a look at this video again. Pay a little bit closer attention and see what your thoughts are.
This is a crazy experiment. They showed babies a puppet show. A red puppet struggles to get uphill and the yellow one helps it. The gray one, on the other hand, pushes it down. Now the baby is to pick between the puppets. 80% of 6 to 10-year-olds pick the yellow helper puppet and not the bad gray puppet. In other tests, the good puppet plays fair. The bad puppet steals. Once again, the babies chose the kind puppet. Even at 6 months old, babies prefer kindness to cruelty. By 8 months, they reward the good and punish the bad. Morality and instincts are not just taught, you are born with them. They are human traits that you have. Do not ignore them.
And you know what this conversation reminds me of? It just reminds me of how we choose war and we choose to accept war. We choose to accept war as an option to solve problems that the people in power in our countries tell us are that serious to where we should die in order to go about solving these problems. What are the problems usually over? Some resources, somebody trying to be extorted, land. And because these are things that are significant and important to the power structure in that country, then I guess we should accept it as important and we should sacrifice our lives. And I don't know if y'all heard where I think where did I hear this? That now it's an automatic draft. Like there's a new law where you're automatically signed up, where kids don't have to actually go and sign up. Now, if you're between the ages, I think it's like 18 and 25, you're automatically just going to be selected, or not selected, but input into the draft pool. All right, so let's, I think I saw, hold on. Hold on, who found that? Hold on. Oh, hold on, that wasn't Finn? Hold up, I didn't know, my bad. I thought Bull was Finn. Hold on, now I'm all mixed up. Hold on, so that was Critical. All right, so same energy, it's Critical. So now, all right, so Critical, now I have a question for you. Because you were one of the people saying that it's human nature to be evil. After seeing that video, do you still believe that it's human nature to be evil? Y'all tell me in the chat as well, the rest of y'all. The people who thought that it was human nature to be evil, do you still think that after watching that video? Critical's funny. I'm sure you are offending Finn. What could I say, Leslie? I got two great teachers. A child has innocent frequency. So let me ask you this, Michelle. If a child has innocent frequency, then isn't that the nature of humans? If a child has innocent frequency, at what point, what age is this just like a puberty process to where we go through puberty and, then we just all of a sudden become, you got the mean girls and the asshole guys? Like, is that just something that is just inherently in us, or is that something that is pushed on us by society? Is it something that just comes with competition? As people start to compete for resources, is it? It can be nature, or I'm not gonna suggest. I'm asking y'all. I think that all of these things are taught. I think that all of these things are encouraged with society. We could say that it's impossible to avoid, I guess, when you look at from a competition standpoint, how everybody's competing for resources. I guess you could say that, but perhaps then I guess we should maybe create a different type of society, different type of world where people are not competing for resources. Isn't that doesn't one of the 10 Commandments address this? Somebody, one of my, matter of fact, you said Christ is King, Bubbles. Doesn't one of the commandments address this, like the yearn to have more? It's something, one of the commandments that talks about being greedy or wanting other people's stuff. Yeah. Let's say, hold on. I would also say, what does color have to do with it? And actually, I'm glad that you pointed that out. The fact that it was gray, the gray, I would have loved for them to show also if they switched the yellow and the gray. Because as I was watching that video, I was like, gray, that's kind of like a dull color. Like I wish they would have chosen maybe if you use yellow and green or yellow and orange, maybe those would have been given better results. But I definitely peeped that as far as with the gray. But considering that, what do you think? What do you think? Watch some heart math. It's bright yellow. And yeah, so you're saying the same things. You're saying the same things. All right, let me all right, so repeated. No offense taken here, bro. I never said it was nature to be. All right, so hold on. So I may have misspoke. So Critical said, I never said it was nature to be evil. I said violence is human nature. Doesn't make it evil. It's fright, it's fight or flight, literally chemically wired into us. That's an excellent point. So you think that, but isn't violence evil? Isn't that kind of the point to all of this? That as soon as we justify some sort of violence in one area, then we know what that's going to lead to in another. Isn't that actually biblical, that violence only begets violence? So if you say that, you're not saying that human nature is evil, but you're saying that human nature is violent, isn't it saying the same thing, or at least going to get us in the same place? That would be my question. To say that human nature is violent, violence is evil, right? And as soon as you justify certain violence, then we know what's going to happen. I think that's the problem. I think that's what we see around the world. We see a bunch of people trying to justify violence. And it's if it's not clear now more than ever, that's always going to lead us in a place to where there's war. As soon as violence is justified by one person, what makes it not justified by another? Like, what makes it okay for violence to be committed here, but not okay for violence to be committed in another place? That's what I'm asking. All right. So, and Mama Lay, shout out to Mama Lay in the building. Also, I live in this world, but I'm not of it. So for me, I'm not a part of the we. I'm not making those choices. I'm not on that frequency. So what would you say regarding that, Mama Lay, as far as human nature? Michelle said, once the heart messes up, the frequency drops and we are no longer omega. All right, y'all diving in deep. It's nature to either fight or flight in certain situations. So if it's nature to flight, that's not choosing violence. You're giving me two different options. Fight is violence. Flight is walking away from a situation. That's actually what it says in the Bible. That's actually what Jesus is rewarding in the Bible, walking away and avoiding confrontation. So that's like saying it's nature to be good and evil. Saying that it's nature to either fight or flight is the same thing as saying it's nature to be good and evil. But what we're trying to figure out is, and maybe that's your answer to it. Maybe that's your answer. Maybe you believe that it's nature for both. Maybe you believe that it's human nature for both. Yeah. Violence is a survival mechanism that comes from a chemical in your body. What you choose to do will make the action good or bad. I think this conversation, and especially the back and forth, not in a bad way, but the conversation that I'm having with Critical shows us exactly why we're living in the world that we're living in right now. I think when people describe, well, you have to choose to make the action good or bad, I think that's the whole point. You're saying that violence is a survival mechanism. So that means if somebody else puts somebody in a violent situation, and then I have to respond to protect myself with violence, you're saying that that's the whole point of it. I think that's the whole point of the biblical scriptures discussing that violence only begets violence. So I don't know. It's something for us to just consider as we're moving forward, having a lot more of these conversations with some of these videos today. But I guess the more we look at these videos, it probably more aligns with, somebody's going to have more of a takeaway to say, yo, yeah, it's definitely human nature as we're watching these videos. But I'm still standing on the fact that I don't think it's human nature. I think that it's just man. Yeah, I think it's man just contributing to more of a nurture rather than human nature. Even to be able to teach somebody when it's okay to use violence, that's still nurture. Yeah, I think that a lot of kids, even when you look at from a survival standpoint, have y'all ever seen kids like at the zoo or like kids with different animals? Like where adults won't even go up to pet a dog or something like, oh, hold up. Like, is your dog good? Because like a kid is so ignorant and naive, they don't assume that an animal, even though the animal could be twice their size, is going to harm them. A kid will go up to a dog, like the most vicious pit bull, a kid will just go up to and just start petting, right? So that's the nature. But then what happens? They learn like, oh, you can't just go up to a dog like that. These dogs will bite you. Then maybe they see a situation where a dog bites. So that's all taught behavior. I just don't think that that's something that we are born with. I think that we're curious when it comes to, if you dropped a kid in the jungle, a little baby, and a baby saw a lion, the baby's response, I don't think would be like or a little kid would be to run. I don't think in a lot of ways. I think it would try to start playing with the lion or something like that. Now that probably wouldn't turn out well, but I think that would be the natural thing that the baby would do. But I may be wrong. But let's get into some of these topics. All right. So first off, I don't know if y'all been seeing these Netanyahu death rumors. I don't know what's going on with this. We'll take a quick look at the video. I haven't seen this video. Going into the video, I actually don't think that Netanyahu passed away. I know they put up a couple of AI generated videos. Maybe he's sick, maybe he's injured, perhaps, but I actually think that they're just leaning into something. I don't know if they're trying to create some camaraderie, if they're trying to create this own martyrdom like on their side because they saw how valuable the martyrdom with the Ayatollah passing away, what that created. I don't know what's going on. But let's take a look at this video. You guys tell me what your thoughts are. And I want to finish up. I want to look in here. All right. I wasn't sure if anybody said anything else. God says, turn the other cheek. Okay, hold on. We got some scriptures in here. We got some scriptures in here. So Bubble said, God says, turn the other cheek. But when Jesus was angry, he did flip tables in the church. I don't know if flipping a table is violent. That's like saying like punching a heavy bag is violent. Like, nah, I'm just hitting the heavy. You know what I mean? Like hitting a heavy bag is different than hitting somebody, and flipping a table is different than flipping somebody. But yeah, I don't know if flipping a table is considered violence. I hope not. Shout out to Dutch in the building. So let me ask you. So Michelle said they got to know where the violent behavior comes from. And Heart Math shows this. I got to look into more of this Heart Math. Yeah, Mama Lay, I'm on the same thing. I'm like, what's this Heart Math? That's the second time you said it. Like, I got to look into that. Definitely. Okay, Dutch said, if it's true, I don't think he will be missed by many people outside of Israel. Missed? I don't know. I'll tell you what, when I did hear that, I actually was sad. When I heard that, because it came on my phone actually before, like it just came as an alert and then I looked at the page and it was like an X page, a channel on, what is it called? Is it a Twitter page and an X page? Somebody's account, and I didn't really trust the account, but initially I was sad. When I heard that Netanyahu was deceased. I was sad. And not only just sad because, oh man, look at what this is going to cause. Now this is going to be a forever war. Now you're going to have people feuding even more. It's going to be more death. Violence only begets violence, right? But I was also just sad that he was gone. I don't want to see anybody die. I really don't. And I know that I've probably had the mindset before in the, at different times in my life where I probably would have said that, hey, certain people, the world would be a better place if they weren't here. But I don't think that, like, I was sad when I first heard that. I don't want Netanyahu to die. I just want people to just figure this thing out and move to a more peaceful place, if that's possible. It would be very hard for me to celebrate or appreciate anybody's death. It really would be. Like, I'm not there yet. Maybe that's soft. Maybe that's whatever it is. I can never be happy with somebody passing away. So what did Critical write? Napoleon Hill considered inaction, procrastination, a deadly enemy of success, arguing that waiting for perfect conditions or motivation is a formula for failure. With a positive mental attitude, action is taken before feeling ready, as motion generates motivation and success favors those who act quickly, despite fear, will in and out cheers. It's funny that you're saying that. I like this Napoleon Hill kick that we've been on. I definitely like that. Definitely like that. Phyllis in the building. Nah, you ain't overslept. You get that pass. You get that pass. All right, let's hold on. Let me see what Dutch wrote. I wasn't sure if you wrote something in the beginning. They targeted and took out religious leaders in Iran. Yeah. And I was upset when they died. Like, I don't like seeing people die. Like, it's like, I don't know if y'all are looking from the same lens or vantage point that I'm looking at, but when somebody dies, one, what does that represent? Do we think like, oh, now we can all just go home, now it's over? No, more people are now going to die. I don't like putting that energy out. That's why, don't y'all remember when Malcolm X made the comment about the chickens coming home to roost? I don't like that. The chicken's coming home to roost. You put out a certain type of energy, that energy is going to come back. So I don't want to be, that's not the energy that I want to put out. I never want to celebrate somebody being killed. I never want to celebrate any death. That's just not the type of frequency that I want to be on for me. To each their own, though. To each their own. So Critical said, I'm okay with a lot of folks being unalived. When you kill kids and other innocents in pursuit of anything, I am okay. Yeah. To each their own. I don't think that you dying is really going to do anything, but I guess that's how we've been conditioned in a lot of ways to see things. But yeah. It is what it is. Everybody's entitled to their own, feelings on it. Let's take a look at this Bibi Netanyahu video.
Amid wild death rumors, Netanyahu's latest video sparks a new twist, called AI generated by many online. Netanyahu's proof of life clip aimed to silence rumors, but instead, it's fueling even deeper conspiracy fires. From Tel Aviv to Twitter, Bibi's coffee shop video now labeled AI made by Elon Musk's chatbot, Grok. I think they're saying on the internet that you're dead. After the bizarre six-finger claim, a cryptic post from Sarah Netanyahu adds fresh fuel to the frenzy. Amid online rumors of his assassination, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu posted a video from a Tel Aviv coffee shop on March 15th. Shared on his official X account, the clip aimed to silence speculation and prove he was very much alive.
Thank you. What did you ask me?
I think they're saying on the internet that you're dead.
I'm dead on coffee. You know what? I love my nation to death and how they behave. Fantastic. Do you want to count the number of fingers?
Can you show us?
Hey, there you are.
Do you have a message for the people?
It almost seems like they're trolling us. That's what I thought it was. When I see this, I'm like, oh, they're like, this is a troll. Like, I don't think Netanyahu, I think Netanyahu is somewhere off hiding and laying low until he feels it's comfortable enough to come back to Israel or wherever he is, hiding in some bunker or something. I don't know. But it's very hard for me to believe that he's injured. And it's very hard for me to believe, not that he's injured, but it's very hard to believe that they would put out a video like this after putting out the initial AI, where Grok even came out and said that it was an AI video. Like, I doubt that they would put out another AI video in order to prove that he's alive. Like, we can't just tell that it's AI. Now, if I was just watching this and had no idea, maybe, but even with the, and I was trying to ask myself as I'm watching this, like, is it the translation that he's given? And, you know, then the person saying it in English, which is making it seem like AI, or is it just the entire video that makes it seem like it's AI? What are y'all thinking?
People?
Go out and breathe some air, but stay safe. Your stance is amazing. It gives me strength. The government, the IDF, the Mossad. We're doing things that I can't share with you right now. But we're doing very strong things in Iran on this day. Also in Lebanon. We're continuing. You're telling me to continue? I say to all of you, you should continue as well. You should continue to listen to the orders of the Eastern Command. All the time. Listen to the orders of the Eastern Command. And also to the leaders of the cities. To always be at hand. We'll try as much as we can. And thank you for the coffee. It was excellent. I don't know about calories. I think it's very dangerous.
He didn't even try the coffee yet. Thanks for the coffee. It was excellent. Yeah, I mean, that just may be some politician type stuff, but nah, it looks fake to me. I mean, I guess it just, yeah. So you said that Dutch said that the coffee looks extremely fake.
Dangerous.
Oh, man.
However, the footage itself sparked fresh controversy, with many online users claiming that it too was AI generated. Some users even pointed to earlier videos, alleging that Netanyahu appeared with 6 fingers on one hand. Those bizarre claims were swiftly dismissed as false by Turkey's state-run Anadolu agency, labeling them complete fabrications. But the new coffee shop clip came under greater scrutiny when Grok, Elon Musk's ex-chatbot, entered the conversation. Responding to a user's query, Grok boldly asserted that Netanyahu's video was AI-generated and 100% deepfake. The chatbot reasoned that a prime minister casually discussing Iran and Lebanon operations in public seemed highly unrealistic for security reasons. Grok doubled down on its claim, emphasizing that no real event like this exists or was ever reported. It later referenced an
Bro, this is a troll. Like, Israel's just, Netanyahu's just trolling, bro. Like, come on, bro. It's, at least you would have got on the same pages with Elon and talked to Grok, told Grok to put it out. Come on, it's just 100%.
unreleased AI post, suggesting the video originated from advanced, undisclosed synthetic media technology. The deepfake uproar unfolded amid a wave of persistent online rumors claiming that Prime Minister Netanyahu had been assassinated. Around the same time, similar false reports circulated online, alleging that his brother...
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, you know, like somebody who's just something, you hear something happened about you, but you don't want to tell anybody yet. You're like, yo, no, don't say nothing. Let people, I want to see what happens if people really believe that it's that, you know, I'm out of here. Like, this is, yeah, I don't even want to waste more time with this. I don't even want to waste more time with this. There's too many real things to discuss rather than that. Let me show y'all this clip. So this is something that I actually saw Anna Kasparian put up. She reposted it on X. I want to show y'all this. This is Jonathan Greenblatt. I'm sure y'all have seen him before. We've played some of his videos. And he's the head of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which is supposed to stop anti-Semitism in America, but it's supposed to also stand up for discrimination overall. But of course, most of the discrimination that they focused on is with, you know, Jewish people, anti-Semitism, things of that nature. So I want y'all to take a look at the things that he's saying. Like, this is the non-discrimination guy, and listen to the things that he's saying in this video. And you tell me what y'all think.
We've got to start doing things differently. And the same goes here in Israel. This means that the problem won't be solved by yet another new Knesset task force. It won't be solved by the government just throwing money at the.
I want to be clear how he started off. He says, we have to do things differently as well as here in Israel. So he's talking about America. Let's be clear.
We've got to start doing things differently. And the same goes here in Israel. This means that the problem won't be solved by yet another new Knesset task force. It won't be solved by the government just throwing money at the problem. It won't be solved by the IDF spokesperson's unit issuing updated talking points or suddenly using TikTok. Like us in America, you need to adopt new strategies, to experiment with creative tactics, to study the results and scale what works. Maybe it's a whole new IDF unit, call it 8300, to lead this fight. But we need the kind of genius that manufactured Apollo gold pagers and infiltrated Hezbollah for over a decade.
We need the type of genius that carried out these pager bombings against Hezbollah. It's, bruh. We need the type of genius that carried out the pager attacks in Hezbollah. I don't know, like the branding when it comes to Israel, I'm being real, like the branding, the marketing, like it's just very evil. Like it's hard to see anything that Israel's doing and have any other takeaway. It just looks like pure evil. It looks like colonization. It looks like imperialism. It looks like they're trying to extort people. Everything just gives off evil regime. And I'm sorry, it just is what it is. Like, this is what you're pushing people to do. Like, this is why all of this, and I saw Trump put it up as well when he was celebrating Mark Levin or something like this, where all this peace through strength. This is just clean break memo nonsense. This is evil. This is demonic behavior, and it's justified demonic behavior based on, and this is the conversation that we were having earlier. They think that this violence is justified. They think that it's okay to commit violence against somebody else because you tell the world that they're getting ready to commit violence against you. It's only going to lead us one place. If this is human nature, let me ask y'all this then. If it is human nature to be violent, once again, I have to ask that question. Why do you praise the God that you praise? I have to keep asking this. If this is how we're just conditioned to be, and if we are just violent beings at heart, then how do you then celebrate, worship, look at a God as your Lord and Savior as somebody who's telling you not to be what he created you to be? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So if we're not this by if we're not this by human nature, I just don't understand. Like, I mean, do y'all ask yourselves the same question? Do you ask yourself this same question? And something that came up over the weekend, I know Finn saw it, but I tweeted over the weekend, you know, the conversation that people, hold on, let me, you know, I hear a conversation, especially every time there's a mass shooting or something like that. You hear about people coming out against the NRA and saying, why are these guns on the streets? We shouldn't be able to have these type of weapons, whether it's a semi-automatic, they shouldn't be allowed. Why can a kid just go and get a rifle or a shotgun? We need to have a ban on these type of guns. But what about when that same argument is used when it comes to religion? And I'm not going to stay on this for a while, but religion it shapes the way that we think. So having any of these conversations without mentioning religion, without mentioning the culture, our mindset, it's pointless. Religion determines what's righteous to a lot of us, what's justified, what's allowed, the way to live life, the way to carry ourselves, our principles, our morals, our values. So if we need to get rid of guns because of the harm and the death that they cause people, why isn't that same energy also shown towards religion? Isn't religion responsible for a lot of our deaths? We talk about through crusades, we talk about what's going on right now. And a lot of people make the arguments that it's not the guns, right? It's how people are using them. Okay, well, it's not the religion, it's not your God, it's how people are using them. So are we ever going to shine a light on that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. This is maybe why it becomes so frustrating having a lot of these conversations, because you got to walk on eggshells when it comes to certain topics, and certain things are off the table as far as, oh, we can't discuss that. Looking at any other thing, okay, guns are just a tool, right? Somebody has to pick them up and use them with ill intent in order to cause destruction, in order to cause death. How many times have we talked about how, even when you look at slavery, it was more important to enslave somebody's mind, that was far more powerful than a weapon can ever do, to enslave somebody's mind. So therefore, when it comes to religion, my question that I ask y'all, especially, Bubbles, you came in here talking about Christ as King, so I got to ask you as well. How many people have died under that Christ is King banner? How much death and destruction has been caused under that Christ is King banner? How much death and destruction has been caused under this Old Testament Judaism banner? How much death and destruction has been caused under an Islamic banner? Paula the other day was talking about how people have been, you got death and destruction under the Buddhist banner. Perhaps it's not human nature. Perhaps we're just raising our kids in a religion or a way of life, a culture, however you want to dictate it, society that pushes us to accept certain types of violence over the other. So Mama Lay, if you feel guns should be banned, who's responsible for killing more people, guns or religion? It's just a question that I'm asking. Who's responsible? I don't, sometimes I get up on here and it just becomes frustrating, because it feels like, you ever been on a team where some people on the team are just like, yo, we're trying to win by any means necessary. Like, we're trying to win. We're committed. We're going to make sure that we're here all summer preparing for the season. We're going to make sure that we're paying attention in our meetings. We're going to be very intentional, very focused, very locked in. And then it's like we're living in a society where it's like, well, half the people don't even like. Unfortunately, do I want to say that? But yeah, if we don't make a significant change, then the world is doomed. If we don't make a significant change, we definitely have the ability to shift things, in my opinion. We definitely have the ability to shift things, in my opinion. But if we don't make a significant change to the way that we perceive the world, I don't see how this gets any better. I really don't see how this thing gets any better. Big Bro Steve wrote, religion is a way to avoid God, while relationship is a way to know God. I agree 100%. 100%. Critical said, if you think there's a little God in all of us, then from that perspective, yes, you have evil in your perspective. You have evil in your nature. As they say, God created all things. Yeah, I guess if you believe that, as far as them saying that, I guess you could say that. I guess you could say that. I guess you would say, which is, I guess, how I look at the good and evil. Which do you think there's more of? Let's say that God created everything. I don't think that I don't believe that this world is truly evil. I believe that man has corrupted it in certain ways. But I guess to be fair, you got to look at the animals. You got to look at different things of that nature. I don't know when the animals started killing each other. I don't know the history of animals. I don't know if they, some animals eat plants, some animals eat. So I don't know. But I would like to think and believe, I know none of us ever know, that this world can and has, or I'm not going to say has, but would live in harmony if humans just decided to change certain things. I think that we can get more to a place of good. But to your point, that's a good point. If God created all things, I guess that's how you look at it. I look at God a little bit different, I think. I look at God as the universe. But, the question for those people that do believe that God created all things and that God is responsible, then that's a valid question. I've asked that same question before. If God is the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-being, and, I'm over here asking God, yo, what's up, bro? Like, if you have the ability to even change this, fix this, bro. You just gonna wait and flood the planet again? Or you gonna actually get involved, bro? We need your help. Mom, Dad, yeah. We get that you wanted us to learn the lesson on our own, but damn, we getting ready to kill ourselves. You're just gonna allow us to do it? So I think that that's a fair question, Critical. I think that's a fair question. Michelle said, that's why I'm not religious. Critical said, German police are now wearing a chainmail because knives and no guns. It's important to distinguish between organized religion and wanting a personal relationship with God. Well, I think that's just being spiritual. Like, I don't know. If it's a personal relationship, this is my thing. If it's a personal relationship, then how did it even turn into religion? Because religion is what? An organized way of thinking. It doesn't have to be organized if it's just my personal relationship with God. Religion tried to organize, which is in a lot of ways, when you organize things, you're controlling, how they're presented. You're doing the organizing. So therefore, if you're organizing something, why are you organizing everybody's personal relationship to God? That is religion. Religion is organized. So there's a difference between organized religion and spirituality, but I don't think there's a difference between organized religion and religion. Religion is the organization of a spiritual relationship with God, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I may be completely wrong. Shout out to John in the building. My brother John. I think they start with hate and use other things to achieve or justify their hate. Okay. It's important to distinguish. Oh, no, I already did that one. My fault. Bubbles wrote, I'm not religious. I have a relationship with God. I think people use religion to justify their violence. Sad, really. Hold up, Bubbles, but you said Christ is king. I mean, respectfully, isn't saying Christ is king, that's religious, right? Like you're promoting a religion. That's almost like me saying, like, I mean, isn't that kind of even, I'm not gonna say even worse, but like, why would I promote something if I'm not a part of it? And the reason why I'm not a part of it is because I don't think that it's good, but I'm still promoting it. Like, Christ is king. That's a Christian rallying call, right? I may be wrong. But please, like, help me understand that, because whenever I see somebody say Christ is king, it's very clear that they are Christian. I hear a lot of Catholics say it. I mean, that's what I thought that it meant, but maybe I could be completely wrong. And let me catch up with, I'm going to try to catch up with some of these because I know I'm a little bit delayed, or a lot delayed. My mother's family is Pentecostal. They don't even speak to us anymore because we are just sinners. Interesting. It's called yin and yang. Yeah, see, I don't believe that. I don't believe in yin and the yang. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, as far as the standpoint of, I don't think that anything is ever even. When you look at yin and yang, I don't think that and I think it's describing something that is almost damn near impossible for something to be even, the same amount of evil as good. Just as I'm just processing what you're saying right now. I think that typically the scales are, one way or another, right? We're leaning one way or another. In that society that we're living in today, I don't think that there's just as much good as there is evil in the world. I believe that the evil energy right now is stronger than whatever you would perceive as the good energy right now. Over history, evil people in positions of power use any means of influence and weapons against powerless, innocent people to impose their will. I agree. The true nature of wisdom is to determine the difference between good and evil. I agree. Critical said, bro, we have free will. What one chooses to do with it doesn't make humans bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think we have free will. I agree with that. What one chooses to do doesn't make everybody bad. No, but if we are complicit in it and if we allow it, then I do think that makes it bad. And you can have one bad apple spoil a bunch, right? Just like cancer. You ever been on a team where there's a cancer on the team? Somebody just has a bad attitude, maybe at work. One person having a bad attitude can cause a cancer that spreads throughout the entire team, which messes everybody up if you allow it to spread. And I think the majority of us, we allow it to spread. Finn said, he who stands on tiptoe is not steady. He who displays himself does not shine. All right, we got some good ones. All right, I'm gonna try to catch up. Bubble said, with my sister, tragically, I thought get rid of guns. Took me time to realize people misuse the guns. It's not the gun. But perhaps we're not responsible enough. I guess that would be the argument. And I'm actually saying not even about the guns as I was thinking that, because most people would say like, oh, perhaps what if we're not responsible enough to have the guns? Just like we don't allow kids to have alcohol because they're not responsible enough to have it, right? So a lot of people may make the argument that, hey, we're not responsible enough to have guns, so therefore we shouldn't have certain types of guns. Well, I would argue that, are we responsible enough to have religion? Are we responsible enough to have it? Or should people just have their own relationship with God? We can look at Iran and some of the things. I was looking up some of the history of Iran and how, having a religious state, had them live in a certain type of way, especially like in the 70s and whatnot. Oppressing women, all these different things. I was looking up some of the history of it, just doing a little bit of a deeper dive into it yesterday. But I just, it's very hard for me to, Tough conversation. So Bubble said that professor you watched was on Jimmy Dore. He explained it. We should all go over that. But click the link. We'll watch it maybe next time. We'll watch the link maybe next time. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to you, Ken. So Christ is king. So Samira's going to tell me what she means or what somebody else means by somebody saying Christ is king. Samira, respectfully, you just tell me what you mean by it. Like, you don't have to tell me what Bubbles means by it. You can tell me what you mean by it, but I'm asking Bubbles to explain what she means by it. You get what I'm saying? So Michelle said, I'm not religious, but I feel Christ is king as well. What does that even mean? Like, let me ask y'all this. Who said that Jesus wants to be king? Like, and that seems it seems like y'all are looking at this from a convenient way. It's like, well, I believe this, but I just don't want to be associated with it. Like, that's what it comes across to me as. Like, that saying is a very Christian saying. I'm not religious, but I feel Christ is king as well. So tell me, what does that mean? What does the term Christ is king mean? Maybe this is why Ted Cruz is saying the stuff that he's saying. Y'all tell me what the term Christ is king means, because maybe I'm just completely oblivious. So Samira's going to tell me what she means. So Christ is king is saying she believes in Christ as the Lord and Savior. she doesn't have to go to church or stay up with religion in order to believe that. Well, newsflash, Samira, most Christians don't go to church. like that's not, it's not like you have to sign up to be Christian. You don't have to read the Bible. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to go to church. You just declare it. Like it's like choosing to be a Democrat or a Republican. I guess it's less than that. You don't even have to write it anything. You just say, yeah, I'm this. So it has nothing to do with going to church or anything like that. It has nothing to do with staying up on scripture. Most Christians do not go to church. Most Christians do not stay up on scripture. Most Christians have never even read the damn Bible. So what are we talking about? Christ is King is saying she believes in Christ as the Lord and Savior. That is the definition of a Christian. Is that not the definition of a Christian, to believe that Jesus is that Christ is your Lord and Savior? It seems like y'all straddling the fence here. It seems like y'all straddling the fence. Let me keep it moving. And this is different than accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Following the Christ frequency path, like, I don't even know what, hold on, what? Let me actually look this up. I want to look something up real quick. What does Christ mean? I want to see what this, Christ is a title, not a last name, originating from the Greek word Christos, which means anointed one. It is the Greek equivalent of the Hebrew word Messiah, referred to as the chosen Savior, prophesied in the Old Testament to rescue people and establish God's kingdom. So you believe that Jesus is the anointed one. You believe, like, I thought that's what, yeah, I don't know. Like, having a Christ consciousness, what Mama Lay said, to me is a little bit different than accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, but maybe I'm a little bit off. We'll keep it moving. Because I don't even know how we ended up getting there. Let's take a look. I want y'all to take a look. We'll get a little update from this interview with the Israeli foreign minister. He did an interview, more recent one. We looked at his interview from, I think, a couple weeks ago when he did it with NBC. We'll take a look at this one. And do I want to watch that one now? Matter of fact, before we, I got a Theo Von video. We'll look at this video first, then we'll check out the Theo Von video. Let me get this up on the screen for y'all. The religious conversation is always going to be a tough one for me. It's like, to me, it's like, okay, hip hop culture is bad. Let's say hip hop culture is bad. Drill music is bad. Drill music is a bad thing that leads to a lot of young men being killed, and it pushes a demonic culture, all these different things. But it's like saying, well, I'm not drill music, but I like drill. To me, it's just like, yo, you still promoting something you're still promoting something that has created a whole lot of death and destruction in this world. And a matter of fact, the people this is what bothers me the most. If you really rock with Jesus, then I don't see how you can identify with religion. That's the question that I've always had. It's like, Jesus was standing up against organized religion. And even in the Bible, when it says, follow me, I'm the only person, I'm the only way to heaven and all this other stuff, I don't even think that that's something that Jesus would actually say. We know that Jesus didn't write the Bible. We know that people after he passed away wrote the Bible. I don't even think that that's something that Jesus would actually say. I think that's part of the organized religion. When you're trying to get people to follow something, you have to say, well, yeah, Jesus said this is the only way. Follow this way. Meanwhile, if you listen to all the stories of Jesus, it doesn't even sound like something that Jesus would be saying. It seems like Jesus was pushing you to have a relationship to bring out the inner Christ consciousness inside of all of us. And it's Jesus consciousness, really. That's what it should be. Because it shouldn't be associated with a title. It should be associated with how Jesus was living his life. A Jesus consciousness. That's how I would call it. When you start saying Christ is king and you start pushing all these different things, you're promoting Christianity, bro. You're promoting Christianity. That's how people are seeing it. As somebody looking from afar, that's what you're pushing. It doesn't even seem consistent. So for Jesus, who I'm looking at, and I hear these stories, somebody who died opposing organized religion. So what do? He dies opposing organized religion. Then 20, 30 years later, y'all create an organized religion in his name. It's almost like I would be thinking like Jesus would be rolling over. You know what I mean? You know how they say rolling over in his grave? Like bro, the nerve of y'all. Perhaps if Jesus is God, like a lot of people believe, and the all-knowing, all-powerful, then Jesus would know that, hey, as soon as you have an organized religion and you have an opposing one, that's war. As soon as you say this is the only way to get to heaven, this is the only way to live, you have to follow me. You just created war against somebody that doesn't see it that way. If I walk into any basketball arena and I'm a basketball player and I say I'm the best player in here, clearly that just creates tension against everybody else that I'm getting ready to compete against. You're declaring war in basketball. Now, if you do that in life, we see what that turns into. When people believe that their religion, their way of life is superior to other people, then it creates this mindset that those people are superior to other people. Then it creates a mindset that because I'm superior and I worship a more superior way of living, then I can do whatever it is that I want to these other people. So then what ends up happening in the name of Christianity? Manifest destiny, doctrine of discovery. Now I can go anywhere on this world and kill, rape women, do whatever it is that I want to these people because they don't believe in the same God as me. And that's what was done in Jesus' name. And y'all are still promoting this. If anything, I would expect the people that really rock with Jesus to be severely opposed to organized religion and Christianity in particular. I don't see how y'all say Christ is king, saying that putting Jesus on such a high level, but then y'all allow all these people to do dirt in Jesus' name. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, bro. It's Bubbles. You think in your mind that you're promoting your love for God. But I would challenge you to say that no, what you're actually doing, why do you need to promote your love for God first and foremost? But second off, even if you think that you are, by saying Christ is king, if it's just about your love for God, why do you have to say that your Christ is king? And let's finish the term, right? King of all kings, right? Because that's what follows it. So now you have to say, well, yeah, my God is better than all your gods. My Savior is better than all your saviors. We know what happens. What did we talk about that creates evil and violence in this world with Critical and Finn? We were having this conversation earlier, saying when we're debating whether or not human nature is evil, we say, well, it starts with competing for resources, competing against each other. So now if you're competing about your God and your religion, your Savior being better than everybody else's, that creates war. Why are we acting like this isn't obvious? And if it's personal preference, then you don't need to say that your God is better than somebody else. If it's personal preference, you don't need to say that Christ is king. King of who? You're king? All right, cool. Then say that. But we know what that term means, and y'all are being a little bit naive, acting like y'all don't know what that term means. We know what that means. We know what that is saying. And y'all are not being genuine by acting as if y'all don't know what that means. Bubbles, just repost the comment. If I missed the comment, I can't go back and read all the other comments. Just repost it again. Just say it again. I just, Mama Lay, that's the thing. And this is what people don't even realize. I think a lot of people believe that Christ is only associated to Jesus. And the reason why they believe that is because of people only attributing it to that. It's a title. That's why I said I'm not for it. Even when you say Christ consciousness, no, it's Jesus consciousness. I know about Jesus. Everything that y'all say about Jesus, I sounds like an amazing person. Jesus has always sounded like a stand-up, amazing person that did not want to control people, that just wanted to live his life and be an example of how other people could live their life, but without falling victim to organized religion. So what do they do to honor him? Let's give him a religion. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. Boy. It's frustrating. This is frustrating.
Minister of Iran, Abbas Araghchi. A good evening to you, sir.
Well, good evening to you. Thank you for having me for the second time.
Yes, and they are extraordinary times. Minister, President Trump said this weekend he is not ready to make a deal with Iran because the terms aren't good enough yet.
And let me be very clear, Michelle, nobody's upset. It's frustrating. It's frustrating speaking to people. I'm being honest. It's frustrating seeing a world where people have bought into an organized way of thinking that causes more death and destruction than anything else. It causes fanaticism. It causes even a radical response against it in a lot of ways. We have people that are being killed in the name of religion. And then we get up on here every day. I don't know how y'all get up on here every day with me. Y'all on the show the same time as me. I would expect you to get frustrated too. Do y'all not have the goal of fixing this? Is the goal not to get us to a better place? Let me ask y'all that. Do y'all even think that it's possible for us to get to a peaceful place? Like, is that something that you believe in? Because that's something that I actually believe in. If I didn't believe in it, I damn sure wouldn't be up here talking to y'all about this all week, all day. I mean, 3 times a week now. I wouldn't be doing it. This is something that's important to me. I've been talking about religion and calling out religion for a very long time because it dictates the way that we think. It dumbs us down in a lot of ways, in my opinion. There's nothing that controls the way that we think more than religion. Think about that. If the world is such a terrible place and there's nothing that controls the world the way that religion does, isn't that a good place to maybe start asking some questions? But everybody believes, well, my God is this, my God is this, my Christ is king, my God is better than your God. Like, bro, what? I thought it was about a personal relationship with God. Who even said that God wants y'all promoting him, talking about he's the king? Like, if Christ is king, why y'all didn't die up there on the cross with him? The same people that wrote the religion, that created the religion in his name, why y'all ain't die up on the cross with him if that's your king? Don't let me get hung. Don't ever allow me to get hung and think 20 years later you're going to act like creating a memorial in my name. Bro, you should have been up there with me if I was that important to you in your life. Man, this is crazy, bro. This is wild. This is wild. Let me and this is what it all comes down to. This is what it all comes down to. When I was at a low in life, I asked God in my heart sincerely, felt the presence of love that was incredible. That is why I say Christ is king. That's what it comes down to. It's personal for you. So let me ask you this, Bubbles. Respectfully, and y'all may not like this conversation where it goes. I respectfully, I really don't care. If somebody does something good for you, but you see it impact the world in a negative way, is that something that you still should promote? If somebody does something good for you, and something works for you, but you see overall on a global scale that it's impacted people in a very negative way, is that something that you should promote? I'm just asking. I'm really asking. Because I'm sure Hitler did some nice things to some people too, but we're not out here promoting him, saying he was a good, you know, you get what I'm saying? So if something just happened for you, if something helped you get through something that you attribute to something that you see around the world that's causing a lot of death and destruction, is that something that you should promote?
Administration is saying this war could last another 3.5 weeks or so. Has Iran asked for a ceasefire?
No, we never asked for a ceasefire, and we have never asked even for negotiation. We are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes, and this is what we have done so far, and we continue to do that until President Trump comes to the point that this is an illegal war with no victory, and there are people being killed only because President Trump wants to have fun. This is what he has said.
Have fun?
We are not. Yes, this is what he said, that they are thinking.
I can't even continue. I'm glad to continue the religious conversation in a lot of ways. That's what I'm saying. And I'm seeing new people come in. Incognito, shout out to Incognito. Incognito said, no one can explain why they added the Old Testament to the New Testament to me. Why they added the Old Testament to the New Testament to me. I have a lot of doubts. I've heard a lot of people say, and recently, obviously with Israel, we hear a lot of times they have a claim to the land from 3,500 years ago. Okay, it seems like religion has been around for a very long time. Okay. We look at the world and say that we've never lived truly at peace. We've never been in peace and harmony. I'm not saying that because it's just, it's like, how long are we gonna, let me ask y'all this. Let me rephrase what I was getting ready to say. Will it ever get to a certain point where we say, hey, maybe we should try something a little different? Or is it all about me and my relationship? Will we ever get to a point where like what would have to happen? Yo, God already flooded the planet. Like, what else has to happen? Like, yo. And it's not even, it is funny. I'm sorry, it is funny. What else, like, will we ever get to a point where we look at this in a way and say, hey, maybe we should try something else? Maybe we should try something that unites people on peace. Rather than, my God is better than your God. My God. Now you got people that are coming out atheists and saying, man, forget it. Why can't it just be, yo, whatever your individual relationship is, yo, that's cool. These are the principles that we stand on. These are the principles that we live by. Instead of, no, this is the way that things have to be. This is what my God. It's like, yo, we're fanatics. We are fanatics. It's like arguing between who's better, LeBron, Kobe, or MJ, but people are dying in the process. Like, that's what this is. Okay. Bubbles wrote, plant a seed and it grows. That's all I try to do where God is concerned. I pray for that seed to grow in people's hearts. But what's the seed? If you're planting and promoting a seed of Christianity, if you're planting and promoting a seed of Judaism, if you're planting and promoting a seed of Islam, what does that actually create? What type of tree does that create? Aren't we actually living in the world where these things have already been planted for a very long time? Aren't we currently experiencing the world where these seeds were planted a very long time ago, and now we're bearing the fruit of those trees? Isn't that what we currently live in? So I'm just asking, like, when maybe Bill Gates then sprayed the seeds with pesticides or something. Like, maybe we're eating some GMO foods. Maybe we're not realizing, like, hey, these seeds, man, you know, right now how seeds, they try to control the seeds. I don't know if y'all are aware of that, but yeah, like seeds are, like organic seeds are a very hot commodity. It's tough to get certain organic seeds, but look, we're currently living in that world though. Unless I'm mistaken, maybe I'm just off. I may be off. In The Lion and the Witch, in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the sacrifice of Asian Aslan broke the dark stone altar. The Old Testament is that altar, and the condemnation that was on the brother that Aslan gave his life to. I got to look into that. So Finn said, we are trying to plant the seed of love, kindness, and to be treated others as we want to be treated ourselves. That's the world that we are creating. And I think you're wrong, Bubbles. And I think that's a little bit disingenuous to say that when Jesus' name is spoken, people get so upset. I don't think that that's true. I think when you lead with Christ as King, yes, people will get upset. If somebody's asking you how your weekend is and you saying you were hanging out with your son or your grandson, Christ is King, I think people may, yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm saying that there's a difference between celebrating Jesus and saying Christ is King. Can we all agree on that at least? Like when you celebrate Jesus, there's a difference between that and saying Christ is King, and we know what comes after that, King of all kings, right? So I think that's a little disingenuous. I really do. Yeah, Mama Lay, you don't live in that world. Don't apologize, but let me be very clear. My goal is my mission, everybody has different missions. Your mission is you live on another planet. Cool. You live in a different world. Perhaps the people on that planet are not interested in helping the people on this planet. That's kind of just how I am. Like I actually want to be in the world where I can be of service rather than go kick my feet up and live in a world where, you know, there's just, maybe y'all already have achieved peace in the world that you live in. But yeah, I see a lot of people, a lot of innocent people in this world with death and destruction in the name of religion. That's the world that I'm trying to, you know, that's just the mission that I've chosen. Some people choose to play basketball. Some people choose to play golf. I chose to play football. Like, you can choose to play whatever sport, live in whatever world you want, but I'm addressing this world. There is not. We have all agreed to disagree, Mama Lay. That's the world. So which world do you want to live in, Mama Lay? We have chose to agree to disagree. That's this world. We've all agreed to disagree, and we just fight wars over it. That's this world. That is this world. Like, that's what we're living in. John said, Christ is king is a powerful statement. In his life, there was another king of the Jews. Like in Narnia, the witch was pretending to be regent while the true king, Aslan, was in a tent. See, I'm on, you said you got Christ consciousness in you, Mama Lay. So I'm assuming that you mean that that's a Jesus frequency. So you know what Jesus was? Jesus didn't hang at the high frequency. Jesus went and got people, right? Jesus went to the hood. He went to the people that needed him the most, and he tried to elevate their frequency. He didn't just stay up here and just look down and say, yeah, I'm not even on these people's planet. I'm on a different world. I'm in a different world than that. Nah, he went to their world. So like I said, we all got different paths. I'm not condemning the people that, are on a different frequency. But if you say you got Jesus consciousness in you, what's the point of this? Is the same question what's the point of having Jesus consciousness if you're not going to use it to help people elevate to it? And you don't just help people by just staying up there at the top and just looking down at them and saying, yeah, y'all need to come up here. Sometimes you got to go get people. In my opinion, though, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't understand the frequency thing. I don't get it. That's it. Yeah, Michelle, I don't get it. Let me ask y'all this. Mama Lay, Michelle, what is y'all solution? I'm going to sit back because maybe I'm just talking too much. What is your solution? I'm always for entertaining anybody's solution. What is your solution? If you have a better solution, I will get on board with it. What is your solution? I'm not going to speak until y'all tell me what your solution is. What do you propose? You can explain it better later. All right, we having the convo now. What you mean you can explain it better later? We're having the convo now. That's a cop-out. We're on this frequency now. Don't wait till later on a different frequency. We're on this frequency. I'm presenting just I'm presenting a solution that may or may not work. My solution may not work. My solution may not work. So Michelle's solution is for Michelle's solution is for her to raise her frequency. All right, so that's your mission. Cool. I'm like I said before, I feel a stronger calling. My mission is not just about me. It's never been just about me. Most of the things that I've talked about since coming on YouTube, actually a lot of these things don't even impact me, the things that I call out. A lot of the things that I'll talk about, even from a single parent household, I come from an amazing household with two amazing parents and an amazing family, an amazing support system. But when I grew up, I had a lot of friends that didn't have that, and I saw that as a problem. And I'm like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. So therefore, I felt a calling to speak on it. Not just to say, well, shit, my life is good. I'm worried about these niggas. Like, my life is cool. No, that's just not who I am. So maybe that's where the difference is right there. Your solution is for you. Cool. We've all had, we'll leave it there. I think that's where, I think that's probably where there may be a difference in how we go about addressing certain solutions, because you're more just worried about a solution for you. That's not what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? But to each their own, to each their own. Mama Lay, if you can say all these things, I just asked for a solution. That's it. I'm just asking for a solution. Everybody's giving comments and stuff. What is your solution? No, perfectly fine with you having certain things to say about my solution, but what is yours? What is yours? Give me all I get all the sayings. It all begins with you. Yeah, but where does it end? We get where it begins. Where does it end? What's the process of it? How do we get to the end destination? We get exactly where it starts. We get that. It all begins with us. But what does the process look like? What does the journey look like? Telling somebody to raise your frequency is like going to the hood and telling a kid, like, yo, figure out your life. There's some people that will tell them that, yo, figure out your life. And there's other people that are going to be like, yo, these are some of the things, man. Go ahead, read this book. Let's meet up. Read this book, and we're going to meet on Thursday night, and then we're going to discuss this book. There's other people that just say, yo, just figure it out. So let's move on. Let's move on. I don't even want to watch that other video anymore. Let's move on to that. Let's take a look at let's take a look at this Theo Von video. I thought that this was a pretty solid video. And then we're getting ready to meditate. We got like 5 more minutes. We're going to look at this video very quickly. Then we're going to meditate. We're going to meditate. We got like a 20-minute meditation that we're going to do. We got like a 20-minute meditation. That's one of the solutions I believe that we can push. That's one of the solutions. Michelle, you're a grandmother, right? This is one thing that does bother me a little bit. When you write in capital letters that I don't understand, maybe I just don't agree with you. Weren't you the same person aligning with Mama Lay when she said, why can't we just all agree to disagree? You're telling me that I don't understand frequency. You understand how to raise your frequency. We have different goals. I'm trying to raise everybody's frequency. That is why you're here. I don't know you. You're a stranger, but now you're family, right? Because I had the intent of wanting to put myself out there so I can not only raise my frequency, but raise everybody else's frequency. A matter of fact, if I didn't spend as much time on YouTube, why don't you ask Maya and ask my family how raised my frequency, how elevated my frequency was? Just like my bank account, how elevated it was before I started committing all this time on here. But I decided that I actually wanted, part of my purpose and what I'm passionate about is figuring out a solution, because I actually really do believe that I can make an impact. I actually do believe that I have that Jesus consciousness in me. So therefore, it's not just about me, because with Jesus, it wasn't just about Jesus. Because if Jesus was just thinking about Jesus, we probably would have never even known his name. But y'all come on here talking about Christ is king, and you align with Jesus, and you align with Jesus. But then when I ask y'all for solutions, you talk about just you. And then you tell me I don't understand. So you're a grandmother, right? Let me ask you this question, because I'm 38 years old. I have not figured it out. I do not have it figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just shooting my shot, and we'll see how it lands. What have y'all impacted? What has your life impacted outside of just you? How have you been able to impact other people to raise their frequency? That's what I'm asking. When I ask you for a solution, that's what I'm asking. But when I ask you for that solution, you tell me it's just about you. You still at the starting point. Mama Lay said it starts with you. Yeah, that's the starting point. We're at the starting blocks. Are we ever going to get out the blocks? You're telling me I don't know something. This is the this is what I got to be careful. You attract what frequency you're on. If you're on a lower frequency, you attract a lot of toxicity. As you raise your frequency, you attract that. Mama Lay. Mama Lay. You really going down this path? Mama Lay. please be careful with some of the things that you're saying, because explain to me how my ego is coming through, because now it's like I'm being very careful in the things and how I'm responding. And I don't appreciate you saying something like this. I really don't, because I'm being very careful in the things that I'm saying. I'm being very careful here because of our personal relationship, and you're very close friends with my parents, and I consider us family. But please be very careful when you say certain things like this, because what it seems like is your ego is coming through. I'm open. I've been very clear. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just asking questions, but it seems like you didn't like the question that I asked you when I asked you for a solution. You said your mother is up, but then you're still texting and you're still commenting as if you can comment, but I asked you what's the solution, but you just didn't want to give a solution. You said my mom is up. So please try to be a little bit more respectful, because I'm being very respectful in having this conversation. And I think you understand that. So I just ask that. So please, out of respect for our relationship, please let's not say certain things. All right. With saying my ego is coming through. I asked y'all for a solution. You didn't want to give the solution. Perhaps you don't have a solution. Just say that. But when you give an excuse like my mother's up, as if you got to run, but then you're still in the comments, then like, what are we really talking about? Then I'm being hateful. I have hateful vibes right now. And you know what else is a shame? There's probably a lot of people looking, and I don't need it, but it's perfectly fine. Michelle is leaving. Michelle, have a good day. That's perfectly fine. I'm giving hateful vibes right now. You see what happens when you hold people accountable, when you ask people for a solution, when you challenge their thoughts. This is like what Bibi Netanyahu and people say when you challenge certain things about Israel. You're an anti-Semite. What? Like, what are you talking about? I'm just asking questions. Now she's saying I'm being hateful. We'll see you Wednesday, Michelle. Or actually, I'll tell you, Wednesday we may not have one. We're probably going to do it tomorrow night. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Like it really is. And I'm glad that people are witnessing it. And I hope and certain people that are watching know that I'm showing a lot of restraint, especially if Critical said, you are and will make a difference as long as you keep logic tight. Stick to facts over feelings. I agree. No ego is bigger than the Christian ego, except for the Jewish ego. Apparently, Bubbles, my ego is coming out and I'm being hateful. Respectfully, Mama Lay, you and I will have to touch base later, because sitting up on here and acting as if your frequency is just elevated and that your life is just that you only attract like high elevation frequency, to me, that's ego coming out. When you sit up on here and act as if, oh, well, my frequency is so high, I only attract a certain frequency. Really? Like, okay. Let me get to this Theo Von video. Let me play this Theo Von video, and then we are going to get to a much needed meditation session. Hold on, let me see. Damn, I just had the video up. Hold on. Let me find the Theo Von. All right, we got it right here. Share this tab instead. Yeah. Oh my God. Mama Lay, you know better. You knew better, and you know better. So the apology, cool. Accept the apology, but you know better. Let's get to this video.
I have spoken about this before, but I do have a lot of uncomfort about America's relationship with Israel, the Israeli political leaders. That's what I mean. I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It feels like they just want to cause pain. They don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people. It doesn't seem like that. I've never heard that spoken. And I believe that if we don't speak up now, that our children won't have the chance to speak up, either by law or by worse. And I don't understand our government's relationship with Israel's leaders and with Israel's government. I don't understand it. You know, it feels like there's this war machine, and then our soldiers are put into these spaces, and they're just there to serve an America that they believe in.
I wanted to play this because it brings about a lot of the feelings, you know, that like the sadness. I don't know if you see it. Like, this is a very, like, I can tell he's probably not totally comfortable making this video, not totally comfortable speaking about this topic, not totally comfortable with calling this regime, like saying like this seems like a demonic regime. And he's saying it anyway. He's saying it anyway, because I know, and even to, you know, some of the things that, you know, Mama Lay has said, you know, as far as like, you know, I'm on an elevated frequency. You heard Michelle saying these things. Yes, but while certain people are on an elevated frequency, there's other people that are dying while this stuff has happened. I know that some people believe that this is all just part of a plan, that this is all just, you know, moving in the right direction. There's a lot of people, and I've had conversations with some of the people in this comments that saying that good is still winning. I don't look around this world and see that good is winning. And if this is good, then perhaps there's just a curve on the test. You know how when you take a test and because everybody did terrible, that the person that scored a C, well, that C is actually an A because it's based on what everybody else got. No, that's still a C. There's no curve when it comes to life, in my opinion, just my opinion. So when I look around at all the things that are happening in this world, it's very hard for me to not every day passionately get up and say like, yo, how do we figure this out? How do we figure this out? There are people dying. Maybe this is just part of being an empath in certain areas where you feel certain things that perhaps your life would be better if you weren't even concerned with the things that are going on over there or the things that are going on over here. The fact that our troops are now probably going to be in a position to where now we got to sacrifice our lives and stuff like that. That actually bothers me. So for anybody that's living on a high frequency, good for you. But there seems to be a lot of people in this world that's dominated. The dominating frequency in this world does not seem to be a very high one. So when it's speaking on a lot of these topics, it seems like exactly what it seems like what happens is what Critical said. I would say any talk that challenges one's beliefs or angers you over your beliefs says more about you than the one challenging. Maybe self-reflection is in order. I'm not offended by anybody challenging my beliefs. I'm really not. But I'm not even gonna go that direction. When I hear Theo Von talk about this stuff, this is exactly how I feel on a lot of this stuff. And the reason why we're in a lot of these positions, and hopefully the reason maybe why a lot of the younger generation, why they're not feeling this way, why they're not going along with what our parents' generation has gone along with, because there's also that part to it. If your way of going about this is the right way, then wouldn't it already have impacted the world in a particular, like, I worry about when I reach a certain age, when I have a certain impact, or will I have a certain influence on the world? I don't know. All I have is now. All I have is now. I don't know what's going to happen, how successful things will be. I don't know all these other things. But it does seem to be when you ask somebody who may be a little bit older than you, who may have some more experience in this world, got to also give that. Like, well, what's your solution? And if your solution was so impactful, then why is the world in the place that it's in now? See, when I have these conversations with my parents, they grew up and my grandparents grew up with a totally different mindset than this. They weren't fixated on what's going on in the Middle East. They grew up indoctrinated in a lot of ways. Our parents' generation, they grew up indoctrinated. They grew up believing in the news. And now think about it from this standpoint. Imagine if our generation was still the generation that watches the news and believes everything that's on the news. That is what has landed us in this point right now. So yes, I do feel an urgency with a lot of this stuff. I do feel an urgency with a lot of this stuff. So it's not but what happens is when you challenge people in a lot of ways. Oh no, critical. Critical. Critical said I wasn't directing that at you, Dak. I didn't think you were directing it at me. I just didn't want to say who I thought you were directing it at, but it is what it is. I didn't think you were directing it at me, I didn't think that it applied to me. Let me say that. But when we have a lot of these conversations, and I've realized over and over, because a lot of these same conversations I've been having, you can ask my parents, I've been challenging people on religion for the last 15 years. Because it got to the point where it just didn't make sense to me. And then it would get to a point where people start to say like it's almost like they try to flip the script on you and it turns into a different conversation. And I don't want to even start rambling like I'm probably already doing right now, but I'm looking for a solution. I'm looking for a solution. And people get offended when you challenge their way of looking at things. People get offended when you challenge, like, hold up, what is that actually contributing to? What is that saying that you're saying means? What does that align with? What's wrong with challenging these things? But neither here nor there. Let's keep going with it.
And it's no knock against them or anything like that. It's just, it just feels like it's causing a lot of pain and fear. And yeah, I don't understand I don't understand Trump's relationship. I don't understand our political, like, why we are so beholden to this government, this Israeli government that just seems to be obsessed with control. And it feels like bloodlust, like they just like, it's not.
I'll give you an example. I've never, now we just, and maybe this is something that bothers me because it's something that I passionately try to avoid, especially when it comes to ego and things like that. I've had people tell me that I'm stubborn in my life, like, and what I really think it is, people can disagree or agree. I think it's people are scared of people who speak with passion. I'm so stubborn. I'm the stubborn person who, on my own, decided to shift my way of looking at the Democratic Party. It only took me 2 elections. I'm so stubborn, but I'm the guy that voted for Trump, and within 2 to 3 months, and now people are saying, "Well, who said you were stubborn?" I'm making a point. I'm making a bigger point. So big of an ego to where I voted for Trump, and within 2 months, I'm saying like, "Yo, that was wrong." Even apologized on here. That's the ego, right? Growing up Christian, I just ask questions. To me, it's like, yo, you're praying every day. Who are you praying to? Have you ever meditated? Like, it's just certain things. It comes down to what Critical said, his last thing. Religion doesn't make sense at all from a logical mind. So for me, it's always going to be one of those things where I'm like, yo, this doesn't make sense. And not only does it not make sense, it's causing us to kill each other. It's causing us to destroy our world. It's a contradiction with even the teachings in the religion. So it's just thoughts. It's just thoughts. It's just thoughts that come to mind. It's just thoughts that come.
Not enough. Like after what happened in Gaza, I don't see. To me, I don't see how there could be any other view. They're making laws now. There are bills being presented where we won't even have a chance to have a voice at some point. There's surveillance infrastructure that's being put into place. There's a lot of things happening right now, and some people are like, "Well, it's too much for me to get involved in." I understand that, but yeah, I believe that if we don't speak up now. And it may already be too late, but if we don't speak up now, that one day our kids will not be able to. And it's disappointing to me too that a lot of our religious leaders haven't said anything. I don't understand it. And I think this has been going on for a long time. I do not understand Trump's like infatuation with or like beholding to this government. But they've had, Israeli government's been involved in America for a long time throughout countless political party leaders. So it's nothing new. It just feels very extreme right now, and it feels very scary. That's what it feels like. And I don't understand how our relationship with them is helping America.
All right, we're a little bit late on this meditation. All right, we were gonna do. I gotta switch it up. We're gonna do we're gonna still do the 20-minute one. I was getting ready to say we'll switch it up and not do the 20-minute one, but we'll still do it. Hold on, let me get this going.
Mind.
Let me get this going. All right, so we're gonna do 20-minute meditation. This is something that I actually was thinking about, where should just do 30 days of meditating at like 6 a.m. Or 30 days of meditating, not even having a time, but just do 30 days of meditating. Pick different times that work. Quantum immortality has many flaws, but it's also backed by math. Some of it, I got to look into that. I'm not familiar. I know you're always next level, so that's why I appreciate you, Criticals. You always from a standpoint of where I am, you're always pushing to learn something new, and that's always what it's been, from Dulles to quantum immortality. So we'll take a look at that. But let's get into this. Let's get into this meditation wherever you are. I'm sure that I'm not going to say I'm sure. Many people may not be able to be in a position where you're able to kind of close your eyes and really just meditate. Challenge yourself to do it as much as you can. Challenge yourself to do it as much as you can. And if you do have to head out, that's perfectly fine as well. Or leave your phone open and just listen to it. You don't have to close your eyes, but just listen to it. Play along. I'm going to close my eyes. And this is something that I believe that we do need, just to bring some clarity, to bring some stability, to hopefully be able to bring people on a common elevated frequency. But let's get into it. Wayne Dyer. Y'all should already know who Wayne Dyer is. We watched his before on the 7-minute one. Let me just get to the video. All right, so y'all enjoy, and I'll see y'all back in 18 minutes and 13 seconds.
Where we will explore the power of the mind and its ability to create inner peace and tranquility in this fast-paced world. We often forget to take a moment to connect with ourselves, to breathe deeply and find inner calm. This is why we have created this meditation video, to guide you towards a peaceful and harmonious state of mind. Throughout this session, we will take you on a journey through various meditation practices, each designed to help you cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude, relaxation, mindfulness, and visualization. By the end of this session, you will feel more grounded, centered, and connected to yourself and the world around you. So find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Close your eyes and allow yourself to be fully present in this moment. Let go of any worries or distractions, and allow yourself to fully immerse in this meditation experience. Now let's begin our journey towards inner peace and tranquility. We will be discussing different types of meditations, one by one, starting with gratitude meditation. As we continue on our journey of relaxation and mindfulness, let us take a moment to focus on gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can help us shift our perspective and bring more positivity into our lives. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position, closing your eyes, and taking a few deep breaths. As you inhale, imagine yourself filling up with gratitude and appreciation. As you exhale, release any tension or stress that you may be holding on to. Now, bring to mind something or someone in your life that you're truly grateful for. It could be a loved one, a job, a pet, or simply the fact that you're alive and breathing. As you focus on this source of gratitude, allow yourself to fully feel the emotions that come up. Notice the warmth and love that fills your heart as you continue to breathe. Try to expand this feeling of gratitude to other areas of your life, your health, your home, your community, and beyond. Take a deep breath and bring to mind something that you are grateful for. It can be something as simple as a warm cup of tea, or something more significant like a loving relationship or a fulfilling career. Visualize this thing in your mind and allow yourself to feel grateful for it. Notice the sensations in your body as you focus on this feeling of gratitude. Allow it to fill you up from the inside out. Now, repeat the following phrases to yourself and insert what you are grateful for. I am grateful for. I appreciate. Thank you for the. Repeat these phrases as many times as you like, allowing the feeling of gratitude to grow and expand within you. Notice how this feeling affects your mood and your overall sense of well-being. When we take the time to appreciate all that we have, we open ourselves up to greater abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Remember that gratitude is a practice and that it's something we can cultivate every day. As you move through your day, try to notice and appreciate the small blessings and moments of beauty that surround you with practice. You'll find that the more you focus on gratitude, the more you'll have to be grateful for. Now, take a few deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel in your body and mind. Remember that you can return to this place of gratitude and appreciation whenever you need it, simply by focusing on the blessings in your life and cultivating a heart of gratitude. Moving on to progressive relaxation meditation. Let us now focus on relaxation and release any tension in our body. Progressive relaxation is a technique that involves tensing and releasing each muscle group in the body, one at a time, starting by finding a comfortable seated position or lying down if that is more comfortable for you. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to relax. Starting with your toes, clench them tightly and hold for a few seconds before releasing. Feel the tension release as you relax your toes completely. Next, move on to your feet and repeat the process of tensing and releasing. Move up your legs, your thighs, your abdomen, your chest, your arms, and your shoulders. Focus on each muscle group and allow yourself to fully release any tension as you work your way up your body. Notice any areas where you may be holding on to tension or stress. Send your breath to these areas and allow yourself to fully release any tension. Finally, focus on your face and neck, allowing the muscles to relax and release any tension. Take a few deep breaths and notice how much more relaxed and at ease you feel. Remember that you can use this technique whenever you are feeling stressed or tense. Take a few minutes to focus on each muscle group and allow yourself to fully release any tension. Mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness and being present in the moment. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our attention to the present moment. Without judgment or distraction, it's important to remember that the present moment is all we truly have. When we focus on the past or worry about the future, we're taking our attention away from the only moment that truly matters, the present. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position, closing your eyes, and taking a few deep breaths. As you inhale, imagine yourself filling up with energy and vitality. As you exhale, release any tension or stress that you may be holding on to. Now, bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath. There's no need to judge yourself or become frustrated. Simply acknowledge the thought and then let it go as you continue to focus on your breath. Allow yourself to become fully present in the moment. Let go of any worries about the future or regrets about the past. Simply be here, now, in this moment, as you breathe. Try to let go of any expectations or judgments you may have about your meditation practice. Remember that there's no right or wrong way to meditate, and that the most important thing is simply to be present with yourself and your breath. As we bring our meditation practice to a close, take a few deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel in your body and mind. Remember that you can return to this place of presence and mindfulness whenever you need it. Simply by focusing on your breath and being here now in this moment. Remember that mindfulness is a practice. And the more we focus on being present in the moment, the more peaceful and centered we will feel. Mindfulness meditation has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus and concentration, and promote overall well-being. You have the power to control your thoughts and emotions, and you can choose to focus on gratitude and positivity in any moment. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to rest in this state of mindfulness. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes and return to the present moment. Assume that you are walking, and it's a beautiful day. As you continue to walk, you notice the feeling of the sun on your skin, the breeze blowing through your hair, and the sounds of birds singing in the distance. You take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with fresh air, and exhale slowly. As you do so, you feel your body relax and your mind become more calm and clear. You realize that this present moment is all that truly exists, and that you have the power to choose how you experience it. You can choose to focus on the beauty and abundance that surrounds you, or you can choose to dwell on negative thoughts and worries. The choice is yours. As you reach the end of your walk, you take a few moments to pause and reflect on your experience. You feel a deep sense of gratitude for the opportunity to be present in this moment, to experience the beauty of the world around you, and to connect with your inner peace and calm. You carry this sense of gratitude and peace with you as you go about your day. And you know that you can always return to this feeling of inner peace and calm by simply taking a few moments to focus on your breath and connect with the present moment. Take a few more deep breaths in and out. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and return to the present moment, feeling calm, refreshed, and grateful as you continue to focus on your breath. Notice any thoughts or feelings that arise. It's normal for your mind to wander. But try not to judge yourself or become attached to these thoughts. Simply observe them and gently guide your attention back to your breath. Imagine each inhale filling your body with peace and calm, and each exhale releasing any tension or stress. As you practice mindfulness meditation, you may begin to notice changes in your thought patterns and reactions to stress. You may find that you're better able to manage difficult emotions and stay present in the moment. With regular practice, mindfulness can become a powerful tool for cultivating inner peace and resilience. Remember, it is a practice, and it takes time and patience to develop. Start by practicing for just a few minutes each day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. With consistent practice, mindfulness meditation can become a valuable tool for managing stress and finding inner peace. Chakra meditation. Now, we will be focusing on energy centers. We'll explore chakra meditation, which involves focusing on the energy centers in the body. Chakras are believed to be spinning wheels of energy that correspond to different areas of the body and emotions. Begin by finding a quiet and comfortable place to sit or lie down. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to relax. Imagine a beam of white light coming down from the heavens and entering the top of your head. This light represents pure, positive energy that will help to cleanse and balance your chakras. Now, bring your attention to the base of your spine, where the first chakra, known as the root chakra, is located. Visualize this chakra as a spinning red wheel of energy. Focus on this area and imagine the light flowing into it, cleansing and balancing the energy. Move up to the second chakra, located in the pelvic area, and visualize it as an orange spinning wheel of energy. Again, imagine the light flowing into this chakra and balancing the energy. Continue up the body, focusing on each chakra and visualizing it as a spinning wheel of energy in its corresponding color. The third chakra, located in the solar plexus, is yellow. The fourth chakra, located in the heart, is green. The fifth chakra, located in the throat, is blue. The sixth chakra, located in the forehead, is indigo. And the seventh chakra, located at the crown of the head, is violet. As you focus on each chakra, take a few deep breaths and allow the light to flow into it, balancing and cleansing the energy. Imagine each chakra spinning perfectly, creating a feeling of harmony and well-being throughout your body. When you reach the crown chakra, allow the light to fill your entire body, connecting you with the divine energy of the universe. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to bask in this feeling of connection and balance. As you bring your attention back to your body, imagine a glowing ball of energy at the base of your spine. This is your root chakra, which governs your sense of safety and security in the world. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of stability and groundedness as you breathe out. Imagine any tension or negativity leaving your body, releasing any fears or doubts. Moving up your body, visualize a ball of energy at your lower abdomen, which is your sacral chakra. This chakra is associated with your emotions and creativity. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of passion and inspiration. As you breathe out, imagine any emotional blockages or negative emotions leaving your body, allowing you to fully express yourself and connect with your inner self. Visualize a ball of energy at your solar plexus, which is your third chakra. This chakra is associated with your personal power and self-esteem. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of confidence and empowerment. As you breathe out, imagine any doubts or insecurities leaving your body, allowing you to step into your full potential and live your life with purpose. As you move up your body, visualize a ball of energy at your heart center, which is your fourth chakra. This chakra is associated with your ability to love and connect with others. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of love and compassion for yourself and others. As you breathe out, imagine any past hurts or resentments leaving your body, allowing you to fully open your heart to the world around you. Visualize a ball of energy at your throat, which is your fifth chakra. This chakra is associated with your ability to communicate and express yourself. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of clear and confident communication. As you breathe out, imagine any fears or doubts about expressing yourself leaving your body, allowing you to speak your truth with ease and authenticity. As you move up your body, visualize a ball of energy at your third eye, which is your sixth chakra. This chakra is associated with your intuition and inner wisdom. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of clarity and insight. As you breathe out, imagine any confusion or uncertainty leaving your body, allowing you to connect with your inner guidance and intuition. Finally, visualize a ball of energy at the crown of your head, which is your seventh chakra. This chakra is associated with your connection to the divine and your spiritual nature. As you breathe in, imagine this ball of energy growing brighter and more vibrant, filling you with a sense of connection to something greater than yourself. As you breathe out, imagine any disconnection or feelings of separation leaving your body, allowing you to feel a deep sense of oneness with the universe. Take a few moments to simply breathe and bask in the glow of these seven chakras, feeling the energy flowing through you and connecting you to your true self and the world around you. When you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers and toes and slowly open your eyes, feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and at peace. Body appreciation. Meditation, loving your body, which involves bringing attention to the different parts of the body and appreciating all that they do for us. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to relax. Bring your attention to your toes and feet and imagine thanking them for all the walking and running they allow you to do. Move up to your legs and knees and thank them for supporting you and allowing you to stand tall. Bring your attention to your hips and lower back and thank them for the stability and flexibility they provide. Continue up the body, thanking each part for its unique contribution to your physical well-being. Thank your stomach and intestines for processing your food and nutrients. Thank your heart and lungs for circulating oxygen and keeping you alive. Thank your arms and hands for their dexterity and strength. Thank your neck and shoulders for carrying the weight of your head. Finally, thank your brain for all its amazing abilities, including thinking, feeling, and processing information. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to bask in the feeling of gratitude for your body and all that it does for you. Repeat this meditation as often as you like, allowing yourself to fully appreciate and love your body. As we come to the end of our meditation practice, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned and experienced. Remember that meditation is a journey and that every practice is an opportunity to deepen your connection with yourself and the world around you. As you go about your day, try to carry with you the sense of calm, presence, and gratitude that you've cultivated through your meditation practice. Thank you for joining us on this meditation journey. Take a moment to bring your awareness back to your surroundings and slowly begin to deepen your breath. Feel free to stay in this relaxed and peaceful state for as long as you'd like. Remember, you can always come back to this meditation whenever you need to reconnect with your inner peace and gratitude. By taking time for yourself and practicing these meditations, you are nourishing your mind, body, and soul. I hope you feel refreshed, renewed, and recharged after this meditation session. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to The Able Mind for more uplifting and transformative content. Until next time, may peace and positivity be with you always.
That felt good. Oh, yeah. I forgot I need this. You know, with that woosah, that woosah. All right, man. Y'all know we come here to do Elevate on Purpose, both from an intentional standpoint, raising our standards and challenging our old standards and old way of thinking in order to grow into the people that we need to grow into in order to accomplish these goals that we seek out to accomplish. All right. So that's becoming better leaders, becoming better followers, whatever role it is that we deem necessary or the team deems necessary for us to play, going all in with it. So strength and honor, onward and upward. Let's get to that bag. Y'all know what I mean when I say get to the bag. That's all the things that we're going to do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month that are going to ultimately add up to what's going to be our impact on this world that we like to call our personal legend. So figure out what you want to accomplish, figure out the impact that you want to make, and then back into it and figure out the things that we need to focus on in order to accomplish those things and see them through to the end. So on that note, the things that are in my bag: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. And I'll see y'all. So Wednesday, I'm flying out Wednesday morning. Wednesday a.m. So this kind of worked out. So we're going to do a show. We've been trying to figure out how the night shows work. So we're going to do a show most likely tomorrow night. So it'll be tomorrow night. The only other time it would be is Thursday night. That doesn't make sense because Thursday night, then we got the show Friday a.m. So tomorrow night will be our show instead of Wednesday a.m. So tomorrow night, look out. I'll put the alert out a little bit earlier, but it's probably going to be at about 9. Give people a chance to kind of just chill. So somewhere between 8:30 and 9, we'll jump on. Wait, is that going to work? Finn, what time is that for you? Shoot, is that going to be too early? What time is 9 p.m. in America? What time is it that in England?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT?
Come on, bro. You shouldn't have to use ChatGPT for that.
If it's 9 p.m. in the U.S. Eastern Time Zone,
that's not going to work.
1 a.m. the next day in England.
That's not going to work. Maybe we'll go a little earlier. We'll go a little earlier then. We're gonna look earlier. That meditation. I'm still in that meditative mindset. All right, man. Let me finish off. I have found hope through man. All right, let me make sure. Quee said that how we say that to breathe. Everything is okay. I like that, Dutch. I like that, Dutch. Great show. Have a blessed day. Shout out to Yummy D. Great show. Have a oh man. Great show. Have a blessed day, everyone. Everyone focus on this area and into L visual. Love visual. Man, I'm still on the got me saying, oh man. Yeah, needed that, bro. Mama Lay said, always sending love to all. Bubble said, have a blessed day, everyone. Shit, let's see what we got the wisdom from Big Bro. Ask yourself with every action, what is this for? Let every act aim at something good for humankind. The Honorable Marcus Aurelius from Book 3 Meditations. I'm joking. Book 7 Meditations. All right. 8 can make it work. We could do 8. We could do 8. All right, we could do 8. All right, so yo, Finn, you are a trooper, man. Just know that you're held in high regards over here, Finn. You're held in high regards. I got to see, and you know what was special over the weekend? I think it was over the weekend. Maybe I saw it Friday, but I saw a post of Finn's son. I believe he was in the Maldives and just enjoying life, and I that just made me smile. So, you know, with everything going on in this world, it is good to make sure that we are enjoying life, enjoying our loved ones, and pushing that positive energy. So Bubble said I get off at work at 4 Arizona time. All right, so then all right, so that should work. So if you get off at 4, that'll be around 7. So you can get home at about 5. All right, so that's midnight. Yeah, that's midnight for you, Finn. All right, yeah, loving life in the Maldives, man. Yeah, what's rent like out there? What's the mortgages like? Nah, let me stop. Yo, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hold on, let me go up. Y'all know we finish off every show with hold on. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hold up. My apologies, man. This is the second time in a row that this happened. I never give out supers, but I like the show today. Critical. Thank you, my brother. My brother, man, I really appreciate you more than you know. Thank you, brother. All right, and then we got to finish off with, if I can find them, the fire emojis. But Critical, thank you. Shout out to everybody. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 p.m.